Hey everyone, it's Cindy Walter and I have Lisa Maciel with me today, and we are starting something new for you guys. It's going to be called Wealth Wednesday, and I'm going to be picking some of our leaders in our team to ask a couple questions of, and hopefully you guys will find some value in it and it will help you. So we're going to get right to it. The reason I chose Lisa first is because she is the top income producer on our entire team out of 22,518 people. And she's been with us for a little over 3.5 years now, Lisa?
Just over 4.
Just over 4 now. Okay, yep. Time flies.
Yep.
And I wanted to just ask her a couple of questions, hopefully, so it will really help you. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to, let's just share your title for everyone first. First of all, first one in our whole entire organization to hit millionaire status after 4 years. So that was incredibly cool. So millionaire number 198 in the company. Also, her rank is 8-star Golden Circle. How many Crystal Executives? 3-star Crystal Executives. So Lisa knows what she's doing. So take notes and listen up, guys. All right, we're going to start with Lisa, what do you do daily to move your business forward? People always ask, what are our daily activities that we do? What are some of the things you do?
Yeah, well, just kind of backing up a little bit, every Sunday is when I really plan my week ahead. So I've done that with my last business and have taken it into Isogenics. That Sunday is my day. I just take, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes before bed, to really just plan my week ahead and write it in my planner, who I plan to follow up with, and, team calls, things like that. So that's always sort of planned out. It doesn't mean nothing happened. I don't add on extra things each day of the week, but the majority of my planning is planned ahead every Sunday night. So I do that.
Awesome.
So as far as each day, what I heard Susan Sly mention this, I don't know if it was a year or two ago, or maybe close to 2 years ago. And she's one of the people I love listening to at conference, and whether it's her podcast, but I love what she calls her recipes for success. It's her 3x3x3. So what that is 3 connections each day, 3 follow-ups, and then pour greatness into 3 people. And honestly, I've been following that for a while, and it's not something that's very overwhelming that, I have to reach out to 10 people, or it's something that everyone can really do, whether you're new into the business or, 5-6 years into the business. So it's very manageable for me to do that. So honestly, that is the majority of my day, in addition to also using Susan Wheeler's Power Hour sheet. I do love that. I don't always follow it 100%, but it really is good for keeping me on track. So.
Absolutely. And we're going to do another training on that when we get started with the 90-day game plan. So if you guys missed it first go around, be sure to tune into that.
Yeah, great.
All right. This is another question that I hear a lot. People think that, gosh, has Lisa had any obstacles, any challenges? Has she ever felt like giving up? That's what I want you to share. Have you had any obstacles, challenges, thus far, and how have you overcome them?
Well, the first one I remember when initially when I got excited about making the decision to make Isogenics my full-time gig, if you will, and I may have prematurely gave my notice at my full-time job that I had been there for about 20 years. I got excited with one of my leadership checks, and I was like, I'm ready to quit. But then realized, I should have probably stayed a little bit longer. So I always tell, don't quit your full-time job yet until you're, content with your weekly income. But I realized that I didn't want to admit to my husband, which now he knows, obviously, and it's all good now, but I realized that I was not going to go back to the corporate world, and I was going to do everything to make this business work. So right out of the gate, I knew I didn't want to go back, and I needed to make it work because we both being self-employed, all of the income was, the benefits, I should say, were all under me. So I needed to make this work, and that was sort of my why initially back in 2013. So when I started with Isogenics, it was the fall of 2012, and then I left my job, my day job, May of 2013. So I didn't want to go back to that again, and I needed to make it work. So that was my biggest thing is what am I going to do to make this work? What is some quick action items that I needed to do? And launch parties was number one for me, getting those on my calendar. I don't do as many now, but back then they were really key in getting me off the ground running. And then the other obstacle, and some people might be surprised to hear this, but stepping out of my comfort zone. I do most of my business behind my computer, probably 95% of my business, but you do have to get out and meet people and step out of your comfort zone. That is very hard for me because I'm not a big people person, and which again might be a little surprise to some people, but that is something that you need to do. You need to get out of and out of your house, basically, whether it's people say, oh, I only have so many Facebook friends. Well, we all have to go out and about and meet people at the grocery store, join a gym. I took some classes that I never took classes before. That was big for me, to meet new people. So stepping out of your comfort zone, that was huge for me, and it still is. So it's still something a little bit of an obstacle for me. So
but when your why, when you have to replace an income, that's a very strong why. So when your why is strong enough, it will force you to go out of your comfort zone, and it will force you to make things happen, do those income producing activities that you must do in order to be able to stay home and not go back. So I don't know if you jumped the gun and went too early, or if that was really the plan for you all along, Lisa, that
right. Things happen for a reason is what I always say, no matter what we go through. But it forced me to really okay, I need to make this work and post on Facebook and be consistent and all that, all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when we go at a slower rate, we take those things for granted and we don't push at the same level that you had to. So we're not telling everybody to go quit your jobs or anything like that.
No, absolutely not. Right.
It can definitely work. So, all right. How about for those times that you might feel uninspired and you might be having a down day or a down week? What do you do for inspiration? Books, podcasts? Do you have anything you'd like to recommend?
Yeah. So, what if I'm honestly, I start my day, with some sort of workout, unless I'm cleansing, but that I need to get done before anything happens, because if I don't get my workout, my run in, I am just not a happy person. And everything kind of that my day, I use, and I'll give a shout out to Erica Federoff. She has let me just show it there. I've been using it for probably 3 years, her ISA planner.
Yep.
I use that faithfully, and I literally write down my workout, when I'm running, when I'm doing. So my run usually is in the morning, and then I can kind of plan my day around that. And again, that's all scheduled in as well. I know my workouts for the week. I can plan that for Sunday as well. And so that's the one thing I go, and that just gets me going. Once I know I get my workout, then work becomes so much easier for me. But if I'm, like down in the, down the dumps sometimes, because we all have those bad days, then, just listening to, like I said, I love Susan Sly's podcasts. I can't think of any particular one at the top of my head, but any one of hers usually I will listen to. And some of the books that I've read recently, well, even several times over, GoPro, some of you I'm sure have heard of that, by Eric Worre. He's been a speaker at some of our conferences, and it's nice to kind of go back to reread his book, actually, because you pick up different things each time.
And his podcast is great too. I listen to a lot of almost every podcast that he does, I listen to too.
Exactly. Yep. I also like the other book by Grant Cardone. It's 10 times. Actually, it's up on my book, The 10 Times Rule. Yep. And I have that up on my bookshelf. One that I recently started reading, because I actually do most of my reading when I travel. So I don't do a ton at home. It's just here and there, maybe 15 minutes, a day or so. But it's one that, I don't know if this is reversed on the screen, but it's called You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. That was recommended to me. So that's the one I'm currently reading. And so I think it's, or calling a team member. So even though you might be having a bad day, that's a perfect time to reach out to someone that's having a great week on your team. Just say a little shout out. Hey, I noticed you've enrolled a couple of people this week. That's great. Just shouting out to them, because that can totally turn, you may be having a crappy day, but they can totally change it for you by just reaching out to a team member. So
adding value to someone else's day can make yours that much brighter. Absolutely. All right. Last question. Any business tips that you would like to share? I'm getting an unstable internet connection. You hear me?
I can hear you, a little frozen.
Oh, okay.
You're okay now.
I'm okay. All right. Any business tips? What would you like to tell everyone watching to help them?
Well, aside from, some of the things I already sort of said, being consistent with your business, actually, that's a key. Definitely be consistently even posting on Facebook. Don't just post something and then not show up for 3 days, and making sure you're not on Facebook that whole time either. Setting timers, whatever you need to do, be consistent. I can't tell you how important events are. When people ask me about events and they'll say, oh, hey, are you going to this? Are you going to that? Events are not optional, the way I look at it. For me, in the place where I am right now, it's mandatory. It's only required if you want to be successful. That's the way I look at it. And all 4 core events that I really think, there are Super Saturdays, things like that. Definitely any type of event that's there, but trying to get to all 4 core events is key in my business. Like I said, it's a non-negotiable. I've missed my daughter's, birthday. I've done that, but my family understands, and I need that to grow my business. So events, totally key. So, and also some people, I think, make the mistake of getting ready to get ready because they feel like they have to know it all and know about the products and know about how the comp plan works. You spend so much time getting ready to get ready that nothing gets done. So I would just say, learn as it happens and just go out and do it. Learn it as you're doing it. And that's how a lot of us did it. And way back when we, didn't know a lot, we just went out and shared our experiences with the product and being on the product. And we learn as we went along. So
learned it together.
Yeah.
Fun.
People just waste too much time preparing to get ready. I need to listen to this. I need to do this before I get out and have a launch party and do this. We just jumped in and did things. And if it was a disaster, it was. And we had many launch parties with no one there, and that's okay. So you learn as you go.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, I could go on for an hour, but we're going to try to keep these concise for everyone because we know how valuable your time is. So, Lisa, thank you so much for being the first one to share with us.
Hey.
And
One and done.
One and done. You're done for a while. We're going to post Erica's daily planner under this post for those of you that don't know what Lisa's talking about. She shared it multiple times and it's in the files, but we'll make sure you guys have that. And if you have any comments, we'd love to hear them. We'd love to hear what golden nugget you got out of this call for sure. So thank you, Lisa. See you at New Year's Kickoff next week.
See you soon.
Yes, next week, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I'll be in San Antonio, so not sure we'll have one next Wednesday, but look for more of these. We're going to continue to do these if you like them. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Bye.